Yahoo!
I think Kev means that we are asking for the consent to orally impact our listeners. Not orally. Oral.
I can't begin to tell you how much I hate that.
I love to orally impact my listeners.
Kevin!
What? A-U-R-A-L-L-Y.
That is not how you say that word!
Orally. Everyone line
like,
up in an orally fashion.
If you say,
oh my God.
If you say orally, it just sounds like you're from the Bronx.
When you need your sheets changed, you call an orally.
An orderly?
Yeah, an orally.
I don't know what's happening anymore. I've lost track of literally everything. I'm just trying to...
I've lost all control of this podcast. Welcome back to the cocktail hour, gent. What are we drinking, folks? I'm having a delicious Moscow Mule out of a copper mug. Putin would be proud.
As you should.
That's what comrade. I'm drinking a ginger rum old-fashioned from a mug that has the orb of the world on it.
Ooh, oh, Christopher Columbus over here.
Hold on. Fuck off with that shit.
Ferdinand Magellan over here.
Leif Erikson. Let's go with that.
Ew. Well, actually, I'm okay with Leif.
I don't know enough about the man personally.
Yeah, honestly, never met him.
Vikings,
might be a
SpongeBob.
shit dude,
that's
but-
all I got for you.
In today's day and age, not knowing anything about a guy that lived 800 years ago is a good thing.
That's
That
true.
means
That is
they
a good
didn't
thing.
do shit.
I just default to bad. I just, if you're in the past, I just assume you were bad. Prove me wrong. Guilty until proven innocent, people from the past. As my my future progeny, my descendants will do to me. As well they should. They should assume I'm bad by their standards.
Dude, this
and
guy
it's up to
sucked.
me to disappoint them even further.
Pop Lanigan was a piece of shit.
Pop Lanigan
Pop
sucked.
Lanigan?
Yeah.
Pop.
Listen.
Pop.
I am
That's what I'm
asking
saying.
all of our listeners to embrace for the inevitable time when future generations look back on you like you were scum. As well they should. That means things are improving.
I'm also pointing out that there's no universe that exists in which Kev becomes a grandfather and does not demand that he be called Pop Pop.
Pop Pop is good. I have my heart set on Peepaw. I think
All right,
Peepaw
I'll be
is
the
where we're
magnitude's
going
too
here.
good. Pop Pop.
Y'all can take it. I'm good. I may have... This is too much. I don't know why I did this.
What, Jace, what did you make?
Some cinnamon simple and some orange bitters. A little bit of Maker's Mark. And then just kind of...
That sounds okay. That sounds toasty warm.
No, it's
on,
nice. I mean, it's very
on a
cold.
winter's night.
Well,
Sure.
thermally.
The
But it
the
will
flavors
warm
are
me.
warm. The
Yes,
drink
it'll warm
is
me.
cold. Put some
Just real
color
quick,
in your
let me-
cheeks.
I'm
as
trying to
they
think
say.
if it needs anything. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I haven't had
Let
a
me
drink.
interject for a second. Y'all know your partner when you cut a giant piece of a dessert that your mother-in-law left over and start eating it, and your wife walks by and goes, "Holy shit!" And you can respond very quickly and say, "You're going to eat the rest of it." And then she goes, "Shut up," walks away.
Shut up.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So
You guys
cute.
are so married.
You're so married. My goodness.
Super married.
Super. Y'all got 2 children.
Two kidrins.
In the words from Charlie Coons, the kid's so nice he did it twice, which is not how that works. But I loved it.
But I love it. Charlie went above and beyond, and I appreciate that. Best fucking, I won't say how much money, but best that dollar amount I've ever spent.
That's more than you should.
I mean, his rates are available. Someone could look it up if they want.
It's not like classified
I will not.
information, but he's just
I will
following
not.
proper politeness
I will allow
protocol
it.
at this point.
I will allow it to remain a mystery.
Yeah, I am not a particularly polite man. I don't follow cotillion manner sets, but it is inappropriate to say, I spent this amount of money on you. Like, it is inappropriate to say that.
I don't know why I thought it was about to turn into one of those moments like, look, I hate cops. You're like,
Look, I'm rude.
I'm not a very polite man.
And pause.
Meanwhile, I'm over here. When you said that, my reaction was, look, I'm not a man.
Look, I've been watching a lot of Jane Austen adaptations, and I'm feeling like it's time to become a mannered gentleman.
Jesus.
I'm thinking
Oh my
gloves. God. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a drawing room, and I'm just gonna sit in it a lot.
A drawing? Are you in Hugh Grant?
A drawing
room? This is an important question. This is an important question. Are you going Hugh Grant, Sam Claflin, Colin Firth, or
Matthew McFadden?
Yeah, Matt McFadden. What do you go?
Okay, great. It's Matthew McFadden.
Okay.
Okay, because if I'm putting adaptations of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice next to each other, right? And I can be I could be the super hot Asian guy from the Lizzie Bennet Diaries on YouTube, and that sounds okay. But really, like, my life is lived in front of that webcam. Whereas, if you're Colin Firth, Mr. Darcy, you have, like, pleasant walks down country roads. If I'm Matthew McFadden, Mr. Darcy, I get to, at dawn, stride through a dewy meadow to meet my beloved, played by Keira Knightley, and just sweep her up as the music swells. And given the choice between all of those, I would be Matthew McFadden. Sorry, I have deeply felt opinions about Pride.
No, not at all.
I feel very prejudiced about this whole situation.
Have some pride in it, why don't you?
You're familiar with 2 scenes. How about a 3rd?
Such a good scene. Such a good scene. You're not allowed to smoke in here. Why'd you put on that shirt? It's like, damn.
You should have worn a different outfit. And we missed it like last week when that was reprised. When Abed just sits there and goes, cigarettes. And it just like sets Annie's whole world on fire.
The humidity in the room increased.
Yeah, the temperature done gone up. You know what I mean?
Much in the way one would imagine a John Mayer concert's temperature rises.
Better bring a fucking dehumidifier.
Can you imagine if that was an actual venue fee? That's like, yes, sure. You have your what is it called when you have like a list of shit? You have your not reader.
On your like writer. Yeah, you have
writer.
Your list of rockstar demands.
You have your writer, but we here at the Scott Trade Center demand that if you are going to play, must bring your own dehumidifiers because we know what your concerts attract.
Yeah, I don't know if this conversation is gross or inappropriate, but
it may be grossly inappropriate.
But I honestly don't know what's going on. I'm
good.
I'm
That's
literally
best,
just like listening and trying. Like, I'm keeping a straight face because I don't want you to think that I'm like not hip to what's going on. But I genuinely have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah, I know about humidity.
I'm like, hold on, who's doing what? Why do I need a humidifier? And
if you want to know, Jace, remind me, and I'll text you the awful thing Kev and I were just kind of debating.
Okay, well, do I want to know? Is my first question.
Oh, it's not absurd or obscene.
It's not absurd or obscene or even gross, but it is like, is it my place? Is it for me?
I want you to know that I'm just furthermore confused at this point.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
It's fine. Let's just move on.
No. I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna lay it out there, Jace. You can be the deciding factor if Caleb and I are disgusting. Okay.
All right. You are.
The joke is that if you were doing a concert for a particular act, John Mayer was mentioned, but One Direction, BTS, is that if you're there performing in that venue, that you might want to bring a dehumidifier because the room is going to get damp.
I love that you wanted to say something else. Changed it to damp. Anyway,
I genuinely don't know how to respond to this.
I mean, it's an increase in atmospheric humidity.
I don't think that's how that works, fellas.
The barometric pressure. The storm front's coming in. All right, look at my map behind me. Look at the map. Okay, and you can see the cold front is moving in from Britta's head, and it's moving towards Jeff's head on my virtual green screen background here.
And as that cold front progresses from west to east, you will see goose flesh and pointed nipples on Jeff. Sorry.
Oh, on Jeff. Okay. Wow. Good. Then we're.
I was using your green screen as a reference.
Yeah, you were using my green screen here.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think they went for a Harley Quinn-like look for Britta in this moment?
Because I guarantee you, she suggested it.
Yeah.
That could be possible because so let's just address
also wait,
the
full
two
context
goth
for those
elephants
listening and don't know what we're referring to. Kevin has set as his background a picture of Jeff and Britta as pretending to be the magicians for Chang's birthday party.
Well, is it like Ricky Nightshade and then Britta's character is never mentioned?
Never her name's never mentioned. Yeah.
The magician's assistant. And they are both goth as hell. And
it's Chris Angel and Harley Quinn.
It's Chris Angel and Harley Quinn.
It's Chris Angel and Harley Quinn. I would like to speak for the podcast when I say these are good looks for the both of them.
These are looks for both of them.
Good looks. I was watching first Chang Dynasty with my girlfriend, and even she remarked like Jeff should wear that more often. Jeff should look like this more often. And I would be hard pressed to disagree.
Look, the preppy look doesn't do it for me, you know? It reads douchey, and like, I mean, to be fair, that is part of his character, but like, give me a good goth, some eyeliner, you know what I mean? Open chest, give me some metal, give me some chains. I'm like,
in some alternate universe where Joel McHale is the star of like The Crow 4, you know what I mean? Like, long after the Crow franchise has languished on direct-to-video. In that universe, I think it's a good look for him. But you're right, is that, like, Gillian Jacobs looks like... I mean, what she really looks like is the current DC character Punchline, who is essentially goth Harley Quinn. It would be remarkable casting.
It looks like... I think they, like, powdered her whole body. They made her look even...
Yeah.
They made her look even paler. And I mean, like, the black hair doesn't hurt, and the black lip doesn't hurt. But she's white.
No, they've whited her up. Yeah, no, absolutely.
She's paper white in this.
Cornelius,
which I mean is a significantly better move. It's a significantly better move than the literal brown face they put Pierce in. Like, this episode is actually, in my opinion, far more offensive than Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, it's just my take as a white person, but like,
wait, why?
As the Swami?
Oh.
Where he literally does brown face and does an Asian an Indian Asian stereotype.
I forgot Swami was in this.
Yeah, it's bad.
Swami's in this one.
Bad. I
don't know if it makes any kind of difference to the fact that this episode is directed by Jay Chandrasekhar.
Maybe
is himself an Indian man, you know, from Broken Lizard. He will go on to play Gupta in the season 6 episode. I don't know where that factors into, because also one Indian man's opinion it's not a monolith, right? So like, people are allowed to be offended or not offended, and that spectrum is acceptable. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Who's to say? It's
Who
just,
can say?
It is just, in
me.
my opinion, it's easily the. I mean, aside from the T-slur usage in season 1 finale, this is like the most up there. Is that the baby? Oh no!
Baby cry.
Oh,
Baby.
No, it's totally okay.
Yeah, he's getting his diaper changed, and he's still got a healing penis. So every time you move the diaper, he gets very angry. Yeah, you had him circumcised.
Oh,
this conversation's very detailed. Hey, everybody, know my son. But no, so diaper changes with a newborn girl are no big deal, because like, you don't do anything to them that makes diaper changes more or less enjoyable. But for young boys, if you choose to do what we did, then like, 10 days you have to be like, very careful and put lots of Vaseline in the front of the diaper so that, like, well, just we can. What else do you guys? What else do you want?
No, I get you. No, this is interesting. I've never cared for a newborn that has been circumcised, so this is all very interesting.
It's wild.
Yeah,
What
it's
a wild
very-
conclusion, you know?
What a wild world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
what a
are
crazy time
concluding
to be
season
alive.
3 and just daddy host with a newborn baby. Just giving
Double
up the
daddy.
rundown. How's it work, you know? Wow.
Dropping knowledge bombs. It's my job now. I'm a dad. It's my job. If you don't know something, I must inform.
So how,
I wonder, back to our conversation before we were talking about clipped penises. I wonder if the onus of whether or not something is seen as offensive writ large is more on the shoulders of, like, that community saying so. And maybe not even that community, because of course our community is going to be biased. But, like, if we are 7 years removed, 5 years removed from this episode, and, like,
8, full 8.
okay, yeah, if we're 8 years removed from this episode and from D&D, furthermore, and we don't have, like, a large outcry or reaction to a scene, then, like, is Netflix pulling that down, them being more racist for assuming that this was so racist everyone would be offended? But you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
it's
I'm
yeah.
not
I
much
see what
on
you're
the
saying.
stage, Jason, that you've put your foot in that.
No,
specifically.
no, I
This
know
is
exactly
interesting.
what you're saying. You bring up a really important point, and that's like, you know, it's more so a comment on how Netflix is responding to people versus actually taking a morality stance themselves, right? And
Indeed.
and I think the idea is, I mean, especially first of all, I don't necessarily think one community might be more vocal than another. I think that there's just different dynamics and there's different lenses being shared. And when you look at the relationship with, like, black folks in America, you know, and the development of that civil rights movement, if you will, it's a bit more specific and noticed. I don't want to say it's more prevalent, because I don't necessarily think that's true. I think it's just one that's been documented in more detail. So it's like, and it is, yeah, it is. Who is to say what's offensive to a group of people that I'm not a part of, or none of us are a part of? But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think that just because we haven't heard anything, it doesn't mean that that discourse doesn't exist. I think that just means that whatever circles we exist within don't come into that area, you know? Because we even know if the question's been asked to know what the response is. We literally haven't even asked the question of someone, you know? And it's also our job to go up to them and like, hey, tell me how you feel about this. It's just like,
See, my statement wasn't even directly in reference to, like, you calling it out and not being a member of a specific race, but more like, not so much whether or not, like, you or Kev have any place to say anything about something being offensive to black people, because I think that's you can do that. Some things that are offensive are obvious enough that you're like, hey, that's wrong. But more like should the offensiveness of something be judged on the population's reaction to it, rather than, like, an exec's reaction to, you know what I mean? Like, if one person saw that and was like, that's offensive, but, like, 2 million people have watched it and no one's been like, we should take that out.
I don't know. My take on it, understanding, like, through the community that I exist within as, like, a trans person, is as far as when does something, you know, something is offensive, right? First of all, you know, being offensive is one thing. Potentially inciting violence or invigorating. I'm trying to think, like, the idea is, like, if these kind of things in any sort of way increase the potential for violence, whatever that may be, on a community, that's when we have a responsibility to respond to these things, right? That's why when a trans person makes a joke about being trans, it's funny, because you can make jokes about being trans. I do it all the time. The problem is, most of the time, cis people don't understand what's funny about being trans, and they default to something that is offensive, fundamentally because when heard by someone that does not understand the trans experience or is not within that community, that might have a skewed perspective, it can turn into a violent. It can beget violence, you know? So I don't necessarily know, you know, I don't have a firm grasp on what the relationship between, you know, media representation and violence is for. In general, these kind of representations are kind of clumped together, specifically in the United States. Like, the Middle East and India and parts of Asia, very much, it's ubiquitized wrongfully in the mindset of a lot of Americans, right? It's like, oh, they're all the same and all this. So to speak
100%.
on how specifically this kind of representation affects violence within those communities, I don't know. But I certainly don't think it helps.
Well, that's yeah.
It's certainly not like playful, like Hassan Minaj, right? Who is hysterical, right? Not necessarily, not to, this feels weird that I brought him up, but the idea is, he fundamentally has a lens on his identity and the way as like a Muslim American, right? What that means, what that impact is, what the relationship with violence is. If you haven't watched Homecoming King, watch it now. It's freaking unbelievable. Listeners, I'm talking to y'all.
Also watch Patriot Act. It was very good.
Yeah, oh my God, Patriot Act is incredible. It's incredible. But yeah, like fundamentally, that's the difference. It's a way to comment on what that relationship with violence is. And this is just, I watch this and I have flashbacks to hearing like classmates in middle school make fun of someone in our class. Like that's what this reminds me of. And that's why I go, why are we just letting Pierce do brownface? Why are we letting Chevy Chase do brownface? Let's not, you know what I mean? Because
right, and
literally darken his skin.
Yeah, no, they absolutely darken his skin. He's doing an unbelievably stereotypical... Like, what he's doing is essentially a 70s SNL character. Like, as much as people, like, laud that original season, like, so many of the characters from old SNL is... John Belushi is playing a samurai who works at a diner. And that's it. He just does samurai stuff at a diner. Like, it is just, like, offensive cultural stereotypes. And I would be very curious. I don't know how much it changes anything. I'd be very curious to know who brought this idea forward. Was it a big like writer's room pitch? Was it a Chevy pitch? Like what was the impetus here? What was the idea behind it? But also you shouldn't have to know a bunch of behind the scenes information to watch a piece of media, right? The piece of media, no matter what you know about behind the scenes, it has to speak for itself. And
I think that can be informed by other information, but yeah, I agree. Right. It needs to be able to
I would just be generally curious. I don't know whether or not it changes it, that an Indian man directed this episode. Any number of questions.
It's like, I think the immediate thing I'm thinking of is the episode of The Office, the stereotypes episode, which I'm pretty sure was written by Mindy.
That might very well be true.
I'm pretty sure Mindy wrote that episode, and it's like deeply, uncomfortably racist. Like, I mean,
we talked about it last week, and how like just that is the Office episode more than any other. That just like rips like dude, guts out. I hate it so bad.
Right, and then but the thing is, like, here's the thing. Watching this, if we fundamentally understand that Mindy wrote this bit to be done to her on screen. Does that change in any way how fucked up it is? You know what I mean? Like, it's... And who's to say?
Yeah.
It's...
Right.
I think there's a big difference between, like, playing something as being fucked up or playing it as a joke and it being a fucked up joke as well. We talked about this last week as well.
Yeah.
A lot like American History X, not to compare the two directly, but indirectly. Like, that's not doing a thing to be like, haha, look at that. It's doing a thing to be like, look how fucked up this thing is. I think that, like, knowing that Mindy Kaling wrote that episode is, like, more information that's helpful. But I think that, like, most base viewings of that episode would be like, ugh, that's not... And then he gets the shit slapped out of him and the whole room goes quiet. And it's like, yep, none of this is funny.
Right. So, there's no way to interpret that scene as Michael Scott being in the right. Like, there's no way to watch that scene. And the way it's shot, the performances, edited. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, the gray area comes in with that, in the idea of... And it, of course, also plays into a conversation we had about, what makes art, what makes a comedy a comedy. Does a comedy have to be entirely comedic? But the idea that when you do these things, even when it's presented in the lens where it's like, hey, this is clearly wrong, is it subtly implying that we know it's wrong, but it's laughable? You know what I mean? Like, does implying that it's laughable kind of minimize the aspect? And that's for me the big gray area, because it's like,
I would see that I would say that that's no more enforceable than saying that a movie with violence tells you to go do it.
Oh, I think enforceability is bullshit, right? I think enforceability does nothing.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe.
But I get what you're saying, because that enforceability
yeah.
completely draws on the idea of finding a boundary, right? When addressing if it's enforceable, it forces you to find where is the line. And with a lot of this, there is no clear line. You know, it's a gradient, and it comes to audience, it comes to impact, it comes to creator. There's so many factors in it, and it's also like, look, the way we view it today is going to be different than the way we viewed it when it came out. It's going to be different than the way we view it in 10 years. It's going to be viewed than the way we view it in 20 years. This is stuff that's constantly changing. What's important is that we're open to these conversations, you know, and being like, and checking in with ourselves. I mean, the name of the game is accountability for always and forever. That's the one thing that's not going to change throughout time is accountability. Are we remaining accountable of our actions? Are we remaining accountable of the impact regardless of our intent? Are we remaining accountable to those who have control over these industries? And are we remaining accountable to ourselves? And that's the only thing we have control over, because like you said, Caleb, it's where's the line? You can't find the line because the line's moving.
Right.
The line doesn't exist.
It's not exactly the same as our conversation about what is art, but the answer is that there's no hard and fast answer. As much as we would like there to be one, as much as people want there to be a tape line drawn down the middle, is like, okay, offensive is over here, not offensive is over here, and that's just not the same. To go back to the Dungeons & Dragons episode, which, like, again, that episode has been yanked from Netflix and Hulu. It is up on Amazon Prime. It was up on Facebook for a little while. But that episode is gone when Caleb, who is a black man, said that is not blackface. But over on Welcome to Greendale, another great podcast, the black host on that show came to the conclusion that yes, this is blackface, and there are margins of disagreement here.
I mean, communities' experiences are not ubiquitous. There is no one experience. There is no one trans experience, you know? And I think that fundamentally falls into this idea, for me, which I hate as a non-binary person, the idea of false binaries, you know? And even fundamentally, is this offensive, is forcing a question of, what, you know, instead of talking about...
To who?
Right. Well, it eliminates extent of offense, impact of offense, you know, what is it, you know, what is it presenting, what is it potentially invoking, and completely minimizes this massive complex discussion into a yes or no question. It forces it into a false binary, right? And with so much that we're constantly trying to find, we just want to find simple answers. You know what I mean? It's because simple answers make it easy to sleep at night, you know? Yes, no, yes. It's so much easier to deal with something when we can say, I don't like this, I do like this. This is good, this is bad. And it's really difficult for us to go, it's not that simple. We don't want to accept it's not that simple. And I think because it takes more work. But accountability is work. Sure. And I'm happy to have these conversations with y'all.
Absolutely. And this is, of course, Advanced Community Studies, a podcast where we watch the American television show Community 1 or 2 episodes at a time. We are the premier podcast of the Yahoo Screen Podcast Network.
I'm not going to do it. Feels wrong right now.
Yeah, I understand. I don't feel a Yahoo in my soul.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to come before this even comes on because you do it in the beginning of every podcast, but it just doesn't feel right now.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it starts at the beginning of every show. So they've heard the Yahoo in its classic glory, and
they don't need me doing a cheap imitation like some scoundrel.
You're not a performing monkey, and that's okay. No. And I am, of course, one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and I am the truest repairman!
Oh, it's so good. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jay, so I use they, them pronouns, and I just want to let you know that I hate when they do this in movies. I hate when they do this in movies. Sorry for getting emotional, but yeah. I'm real stoked about these episodes. These are some really fascinating episodes. They're probably like some of the least funny episodes, but they're also some of the most intriguing episodes of this season. And I'm stoked.
That's interesting that you say.
That's my take. That's my take. I'm spicy this week.
Chang Dynasty is very, very funny, except for the like fucking lame ass Star Wars joke. But we can talk about that later. But one of our hosts has not yet introduced themselves.
No, you're fine. I'm the daddy host recently. Daddy number 2. Oh, so a little
Daddy
bean.
times 2. Daddy X. Daddy squared.
To the power of 2. And
Daddy returns.
I eat the sun and drink the sky. And they both go with me when I die. So
Damn.
Damn.
What's that
yeah,
line that Troy says, like, Chang, you're a sick man. You still play guitar?
Yeah,
What is it?
got him.
What is
Yeah,
it?
no, that's it.
He calls him a sick man? Is that what it was? Funny line.
Delusional or something like that, yeah.
Love a good set of misdirection. I think that's good stuff. Way to go.
And Donald Glover is so beautifully suited to delivering lines like that. Even that one, that I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, that's not an excellent line, but it's Donald. And Donald can...
They have a photo booth with props!
Donald, you're a beautiful soul. I love him. Let's dive right into it. We've already talked a lot about the first episode, but I say we make headway right down the middle. Season 3, episode 21, The First Chang Dynasty, directed by J. Chandrasekhar, written by Matt Fussfield and Alex Cuthbertson. This was the second of 3 episodes that aired on May 17th, 2012, where, of course, it went Community, 1 episode of 30 Rock, Community. And
They were
in this
like,
episode...
just finish this fucking season, get this goddamn show off the air.
Get this show off my network. Get Dan Harmon out of my studio. Get the show off my network. Because in case you couldn't tell from like the way that the finale, the next episode we're going to talk about, is edited, they didn't know if they were ever going to make another episode of Community.
Dude, that
like
was
that.
Only a finale episode they made. They made a finale episode.
They made that one like, well, this might be the very last episode of Community that we ever do. Of the times where we've thought maybe this is the last ever episode of Community, which is all the finales of seasons 3, 4, 5, and 6, this is the second best one? 6 is the best one. The finale of the show is phenomenal. The finale of season 4 is very bad, and the finale of season 5 is fine. But we're not talking about this one. It's time for a heist. Knowing that Chang is holding the Dean hostage, the Greendale 7 band together for an Ocean's 11 style heist to get him out. Along the way, Jeff and Britta dress as goths. Pierce dresses as a swami. Shirley dresses as a chef. Troy and Abed dress as plumbers. Oop, baboop. What an episode.
oof,
Boof.
You got plumber's acid on you.
No, you got plumber's acid all over you.
They're coming back with a lotion.
What do we... Jace, you don't think this is a particularly funny episode.
I don't think it's unfunny.
Explain.
For me, I'm thinking back to, like, what was it? Like, I mean, we're coming off of just some of the, like, most laughs per minute episodes, I think,
so at this point,
in recent memory.
Your mindset... So at this point in the show, your mindset's like, make Community great again.
Where would you even get that idea from? I fundamentally don't think that Community as a comedy is always like guffaw comedy. Like, I look back at
I was joking, by the way. I was completely joking.
But I resent that you associated that with me even a little bit. I just like I look back, right? And we did a lupine urology, right? You know, the Dick Wolf, the SVU,
Law and Ordra, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
The Law and Order episode, which is an incredible episode, but it's not laugh out loud, a chuckle a minute kind of episode. You know what I mean? Like, there are episodes that are funnier, in my humble opinion. And in these episodes, this is them being like, look, we're going to effectively... I've spent my time watching this episode upon my most recent rewatch going, this is just impressive. Like, this is an exciting, cool, innovative episode. And I didn't find myself being like, I didn't find myself tackling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are fun moments.
For context, how often do you find yourself watching heist movies? Or how big a fan of heist movies are you?
I I like them. I don't watch them super often, I guess, now that I think about it. It's not like a genre that I avoid, but it's not necessarily, you know what I mean? I forget to think of it.
No, the reason I asked that is I think, and I don't want to speak for Kev because I don't know, but I think I fuck with this episode more because heist movies are like every year I have like 2 or 3 months where heist cinema is my du jour. It's just what I go for.
I mean, look, I love a
Ocean's
heist
movies.
movie.
I'll watch Logan Lucky again. Heist shit is my shit. I love it. And
I've
so,
never
like,
watched a
seeing
heist
this
movie that I
like,
haven't at least enjoyed a little, and this definitely gets. That's the thing. This episode is exciting and executed incredibly well. I don't think it's a bad episode. Do not get me wrong. I think this is an absolutely fantastic episode. I wouldn't consider it one of the funniest episodes, but that is literally only one of the descriptors that I would use to describe this show, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want pound for pound, second for second, if you're looking for just like funny bam 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 bam, like season 1 of Community is the most consistently funny, but they're also not doing elaborate heist episodes. Like the Chicken Fingers episode is incredible. It's not a laugh a minute.
It's not laugh a minute. Yeah. Exactly.
I understand what you're getting at here. To state my own heist criteria, because we're doing that, I guess. I'll for my birthday this year, I rented a car and I went to a drive-in and I saw Ocean's 11. If that gives you any idea of how much I like heist movies, I will say that I think heist is probably the most consistent genre that we have. Like the odds if you sit down to watch a heist movie, the odds are it's probably going to be pretty entertaining. You know, more so than if you watch any comedy, any western, any what have you.
Even
I
think
mystery,
that, like, at that point.
That's probably fundamentally, like, first, mystery is, hard, right? Mystery is hard to come by because there's always something kind of similar about the mystery, right? There's a detective putting together a case. With a heist movie, I feel like fundamentally, in order for a heist movie to get greenlit, whoever's reading it has to go, I've literally never seen or heard anything like this. So heist movies fundamentally need to have a novel element to them in order for them to be made. You know what I mean? Like they need to be something new to it. And that is exciting to see. It's like
Tower
this
Heist.
is
Tower Heist. Brett Ratner is a master at making movies. But even like Tower Heist is like one of the better Brett Ratner movies. Like it's if we're using that scale, it's no Rush Hour 2.
This is a weird relation that I'm gonna make. So stick with me here. For those of y'all who are weebs, Attack on Titan.
Okay, I thought for sure you would say Lupin the Third, the heist anime, but no, you didn't go that direction.
No. I mean, I'm thinking of maybe not Attack.
The one about a thief. No, not that one.
All right.
Sorry. Keep going.
Not Attack on Titan. Let's scratch that. Let's address.
No, go with your original.
No, go with
a better
thing.
one. Death Note.
Okay.
Right. Let's address Death Note.
Death Note.
So fundamentally, when I watched Death Note the first time, right, I remember every single time coming to the end of an episode going, how the fuck is there going to be another episode, right?
Yes, 100%.
Literally, like, what in the world are going to... I could even say the same thing about, honestly, like, each time they came to some sort of a close on The Good Place. I'd be like, Jesus Christ, how are they ever going to make another episode of this?
Oh, that show is the king of that. That show is the undisputed champion of, wait, what do you mean there's another season? I thought we kind of figured this whole thing out.
Everything. There's another season of this? Right. So,
and then they're all good. So, fuck it.
Fundamentally, for me, that is the entire goal of a heist movie, right? To make you go... how are they going to do this different? I mean, okay, Endgame, right? A time heist.
Time heist, correct, yes.
How many other time heists are there? I mean, like...
Time heist, you could almost say Back to the Future 2 is a time heist. It depends on your definition of heist, but it's like, we need to break into this place and get this thing in time. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
One of my favorite video games of all time is an anime game called Persona 5. And every mission in that game, you're basically breaking into the deep, dark hearts of the worst people in the world, politicians, gangsters, abusive volleyball coaches, and each one is a different heist, and you're trying to steal their heart and claim their evilness. Persona 5 Royal, it is on the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
For whenever you get that. Dope ass game.
I'm trying.
I'll loan
it's so hard to find one right now. My goodness.
I know. When you get a PS4, I'll loan you this game. It's a great game. But you break into like a casino, you break into a castle, you break into a bank. Like, it's just this unbelievably good game. Heists are good. Thieves are good. It's the first narrative film is The Great Train Robbery, a heist movie. It's the first movie we made.
I mean, like, even if you let's talk about the Ocean's movies. I haven't seen them, but I'm going to ask you this because I have an idea about what you're going to say.
They're all good. Watch any of them, but keep going.
Right, but fundamentally they follow the same premise, right? Group of folks. I'm pretty sure
this group of people plus one need to break into this place.
Right, they are literally a franchise. Would you describe the plots of any of these movies to be, I mean, remove the aspect of a group of people need to break into this place to get something, right? Would you describe the execution of that plot to be similar between those movies?
I mean, 11 and 13 are similar. They are not the same, but they are both breaking into Vegas casinos, and there are a certain number of similarities that are inherent. But the execution is very different.
Into how that heist is executed. Is it the same way?
It is different, and everyone plays different roles. You know, in 11 they have basically an EMP, and in 13 they have a giant drill. So it's very different. It's very different.
So, right. What I'm getting at here is that fundamentally, when it comes to these kinds of movies, right, the idea is that like I said, in order for it to be greenlit, there has to be something fundamentally different about how the heist is executed. And I think that's fundamentally why, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Name a bad heist movie.
I can't. Because, all right, let's look at it. Inside Man.
Tower Heist.
Tower Heist. Well, okay, but like Tower Heist, again, one of the better Brett Ratner movies. Again, if we're grading on a curve.
Yeah, sure.
Inside Man is incredible. Great movie. All the Ocean's movies are good. All of them.
Logan Lucky is incredible.
Logan Lucky is incredible. Logan Lucky is so fucking good.
Although Soderbergh has a talent for specifically doing heist movies.
Yeah, Soderbergh is the fucking king of heist movies. This episode is so indebted to Soderbergh's style. Like, the way they're describing the plan and you're seeing the plan. I know Soderbergh probably didn't invent that, but, like, Ocean's 11 is what made this popular.
Yeah,
so
just
that's fucking good.
Like Guy Ritchie
like,
coin the
like,
smash
you
cut,
get what
Snatch
I'm getting
made it
at,
good.
right? Like, the idea is fundamentally, it's hard.
Fun with Dick and Jane with Jim Carrey and Tia Carrere.
Oh my god, that is a heist movie. You're right.
That's a heist movie. And on the DVD commentary, Judd Apatow is talking about, like, yeah, the hardest part of making this movie was we had to come up with an original heist, which is so hard to do. It's all been done. But yeah, that's fucking incredible. Heists are good. I just watched, coincidentally, the heist episode of Rick and Morty for the first time.
For the first time. That is just heist blown out its ass. Like, it's unreal what they do with that episode.
You son of a bitch.
I'm in.
An incredible episode.
But it somehow satirizes and every single trope in it, while fundamentally executing a really cool kind of heist episode. It's like, it's so meta it hurts. You know what I mean? But that's just like...
Yeah, and heists have all the best elements of movies, okay? You're getting a team together. Teams are always good. I don't care what movie it is. Teams are good. You have to do a cool plot in a cool location. Great. Movies are made for that. You have to have a bunch of colorful characters. Excellent. You get to have snappy dialogue. Awesome. You get to watch Process. Process is so good. Of, like, how do the people do what they do? Oh, heists. Heist movies.
I remember watching Ocean's 11 for the first time and getting to the end of it, and my brain just dumping out of my ears and being like,
y'all are making me really excited to get into these movies. I've literally not seen a single Ocean's movie.
I think they're all on Netflix, and they're all good.
I mean,
and
I'm excited to get into this. I might do this
As a special bonus, also, if you're someone who's attracted to men, the Oceans movies are a buffet. And there's one of every...
Damon, George Clooney, it's a smorgasbord.
And, like, depending on, you know, like, if you're a little bit older, you got Elliot Gould, you got fucking Bernie Mac. Like,
in Oceans 13, you get Vincent Cassel?
Vincent Cassel? And 12. Vincent Cassel? So anyway, everyone enjoy. You get some prime fucking 2000s Brad Pitt. That's just...
Oh, it's like Fight Club Brad Pitt, but less trashy. It's incredible.
God damn. I'm sorry, y'all. I just I was suddenly on a desert island with Brad Pitt. Just like for a second.
Came to his mind palace for a second.
I was miles away. And anyway, we started talking about Heist, which is the only thing that stopped me from talking about Goth Jeff and Goth Britta for 30 solid minutes. Could write a fucking dissertation on this.
These are good looks. Nobody's gonna contest that. This is exceptionally good looks for these two characters.
I'm gonna cosplay Goth Britta if they bring back Communicon. I'm gonna cosplay one of these two. I haven't decided yet.
I'm excited. I'm excited to figure out which one it is. I would look forward to you, Kevin, cosplaying as either or both. I would actually love to see you do kind of a Victoria look with Jeff and Britta as this. That would be an impressive. The wig alone would be impressive. Let's be honest.
Exactly. I will do a Dualadine of man, but it's Jeff and Britta in the goth costumes.
Kev, cosplay as Swami or you're a coward.
Absolutely, I want.
If you do that, I will no longer be friends with you.
Understandable. I wouldn't want you to. I would look down on you if you were still friends with me after doing that. There are certain points where I'm like, no, you are correct to leave me. You are incorrect to stick with me on this one.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's a very, like, lightweight episode, like, substance-wise, but you even get, like, a cool, like,
plot.
dark light chase sequence, you know, which rules. Like, I don't know why they decided to do that, but it rules. It's so cool.
It's good. I think for me, the best part of this episode is I noticed something. Just like the props folks did a great job with this episode as well. Like there's so many props in this episode.
The fucking spinning wheel that they hook Chang up to.
All the fireworks stuff. But I'm also thinking about the fact that they had to make a shot where Troy is using a hammer to break through a bathroom wall to get into Chang's office, and they do a shot of him coming through the wall, right? Fundamentally, if you look, it's pretty obvious that the painting was like there was a perforation of some
sliced,
sort.
So
it literally comes. It is a perfect square that comes out. If you watch it again, you'll notice it's a perfect square. But you do what you have to in order to make the Hollywood magic work. And the best part of this whole episode is right after that painting rips, and you see Troy's face come in, and he goes, "I'm in." But he's got this the way his mouth moves.
I'm in.
And then he goes, "Okay, before it was just my head, but now I'm actually in." It's just great, you know. And that whole "I'm in" bit with Britta being like, "I'm in," and Annie going, "I know." She's like, "Everyone else got to say it."
This is why this episode is hilarious to me, because being a huge fan of even specifically the Ocean's movies, almost every beat of this episode is a reference, and they do something to take the piss out of it. They do something to make it funny. I chuckle almost throughout this entire episode.
I think it's great. I think they utilize Troy and Abed super effectively in this episode because of the idea that, their whole essence as a duo is let's make fucking references. You okay there, Caleb?
I did not mix that up. I think I just sipped bitters.
Just straight whiskey.
No, I think it was just straight bitters.
Ooh.
I'm fine, though.
That's bitter.
They took Troy and Abed, who do referential quite well because it's been baked into their characters. And it's just really fun to watch them play these outrageous fucking plumber characters with these mustaches. Oof, boof, oof. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. They're like the brothers from Ocean's 11 to me.
Truly,
each other,
the twins. Yeah.
I watched
Casey
this and
Affleck and the
Scott Conn.
Scott Conn, yeah, because it's the other Conn's son.
I would
Big
be
Khan,
surprised
Kubla
if
Khan.
at some point in
Jimmy
this
Khan.
conversation they were like, "Hey, Troy and Abed, you're gonna be Mario and Luigi," if they were in real life. Think about it. They put on
Yeah,
these
no,
big
yeah.
mustaches. They're both plumbers. They do this kind
Did
of
you all
ridiculous
see the
Italian
name tags
accent.
that they were wearing?
What did they say?
It said Rod and Barry, which is, of course, a Gene Roddenberry reference for Star Trek. Don't know what that has to do with HEIST, but...
Wait, why is that a Gene? I don't understand why that. Why is that a?
Because it's Rod and Barry.
I
That's
know,
not
but
a
why are they
coincidence.
referencing
You
Star Trek
can't-
when they're doing a heist episode and they're playing?
They have to be named
Because
something,
it's
I guess.
Troy and Abed. Of course they have
Yeah,
to be geeky
and
about
they
it.
like Star Treks. Space Treks,
Space
they love it.
Treks.
Ships in
Absolutely.
space.
This is the closest. This is one of the closest Community comes to out and out parody. Because normally it's like an homage, but this does feel like a parody of heist movies to a certain extent.
Yeah.
This is the most Mel Brooks Community ever gets, and it feels good. A loving parody, a la Mel Brooks.
I do love Mel Brooks.
Yes.
I do love Mel Brooks. Well, I love the first 4 movies, and then it
What
gets
are his
kind
first
of.
4?
All right, you got the producers. All right, you got the 12 Chairs, underrated gem. You
actually
got
don't know.
Blazing Saddles. And you got Young Frankenstein. Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein come out in the same year, which is insane. That is bananas.
Young Frankenstein is one of my favorite movies, maybe ever.
Y'all want to know something funny? I watched Blazing Saddles and didn't like it. And then, hold on. I didn't think I liked it because everyone was like, it's the best fucking movie of all time. Which is what happened with
that's bad
Ghostbusters.
setup for
And after
comedy.
Ghostbusters, guess what? I was like, meh. But,
Well, the difference is that Ghostbusters is not a good movie, but Blazing Saddles is a good movie.
So after Blazing Saddles, I was like, that was just okay. And then almost immediately, like the next morning, the whole day was filled with me referencing it and laughing my ass off and being like, oh shit, this movie was incredible.
You know
Yeah,
what? That
was-
high key reminds me of when I first watched Rick and Morty. I remember being like, I watched Rick and Morty season 1, being like, I didn't laugh once while watching it, right?
Oh, dude!
Yeah.
But
But then
season 1 is an assault on your senses and
It's-
sensibilities.
It's a lot.
The
It's
whole first
insane.
season's like,
But like literally, I remember watching it, not laughing once, being like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And then afterward, quoting it constantly, and like
Yep.
thinking about moments, and then laughing about them. Not watching them, not laughing when I watched them. The thing that got me was the I don't remember if it's the first episode. Like literally thinking about where he goes. He's like, shoot them, Morty, you know, and he's like, they're robots or whatever. He goes like, oh,
Rick, they don't look like robots.
I love them. And he's like, I thought you were said they weren't. He's like, they're bureaucrats, Morty. I don't respect them. And it's one of those things where, like, when I watched it, I was just like, what the fuck? And then I thought about it the next day, and I was like, this is genuinely one of the funniest fucking jokes I've ever heard.
It's so good.
It's so good. But in the moment,
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
really
laugh
good.
at all.
I mean,
I was
they
like,
were machines, Morty, that followed their politicians. I didn't have time to get into their morals and stuff.
That was my girlfriend with Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, which is one of the fucking funniest movies of all time. And
and I was
she didn't
telling
like it
on
the
a
first
secret
time.
that people that this upsets a lot of people, especially comedy folks.
Uh-oh.
I did not find Will Ferrell funny for the longest time. I didn't understand why everyone thought he was so funny. I don't know what it was that did it for me.
Is there an and then?
Oh no, there is an and then. I literally,
Okay.
No, the dude's a genius.
I mean,
Look,
it's fine. I'm just
how
curious.
Will fucking Ferrell without being Will fucking Ferrell. Like,
True story.
I rewatched Elf on Christmas, right? Which, first of all, I don't celebrate Christmas. This was like the first year that I ever did anything sort of Christmassy due to just people that I know, the people I'm dating and such. And I had seen Elf. I had seen Elf plenty of times, right?
Sure.
But this was the first year I was like, I want to watch Elf. And I remember watching it and cackling, being like, this is so fucking fun. This is such a great performance. And it's like one of those things, I don't know what it was. I don't know why I found it funny now. I don't know why I think Will Ferrell is funny now. I think it's maybe sort of an appreciation for his ability to like he just does shit. Like his ability to keep a straight face is unbelievable.
It's unparalleled.
It's unparalleled,
Yeah.
and I think that's that's the thing that makes him shine so hard. Is this dude can
Also,
do anything and not break, and it's just like it's one of those things where it's like at a certain point you have to be able to go, okay. Like for me, I was like, but this is just ridiculous for the sake of being ridiculous, and then it came to this point where it's like this is ridiculous, and being able to understand like why that resonated. Like all of a sudden the ridiculousness resonated, and maybe it's because the absurdism of it all started making more sense now that the world makes less fucking sense. But like, I don't. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Sometimes it just grows on you.
I'm gonna be meta because we're talking about Community, so fuck y'all if you don't want me to. This is probably the first time I don't want to be bold, but maybe the first time in existence that Scott Conn has been brought up. And then it has been referenced that his dad is James Conn. And then 5 minutes later on the same recorded podcast, not because Scott Conn was brought up 5 minutes before, someone mentions a movie that James Conn is actually in.
Sure. Yeah, because
Following references. Can you spell that out?
So James Conn's his buddy's dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
And James
the
Conn
movie
is
Elf.
the father of an actor named Scott Conn, who's in Ocean's 11 that Kevin and I were comparing Troy and Abed to a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like,
would look
obviously
at
you
that?
didn't know that, but you just brought
No.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I was about to say we're
I'm
really fucking
subtly a
overdue
genius.
for me to reference The Godfather on this podcast. So we were very close.
Wait, who's when they got? I got
Fucking Sonny Corleone. Bada bing, bada boom.
I gotta fess up again. I have attempted to watch. First of all, I've never seen The Godfather all the way through. I have attempted to watch the first Godfather, but I was sleepy, so I didn't finish.
Okay, no,
But,
it's listen. It takes you gotta kind of sink into it. You gotta separate some time. It's not a short movie, but just like the thing that I will say is that like I love that I get to talk about this is that too often when we talk about like great movies, we talk about them as like important. We're like, oh, this is such an important movie for like this movement, or like, oh, this is so like a study of craft. The thing you gotta understand about The Godfather is that it's one of the most fucking entertaining movies you will ever watch, dude. It's just so interesting and compelling and funny in ways that you're not expecting the fucking Godfather to be funny. But like Luca Brasi is a funny character. Sonny Corleone, as played by James Caan, is a fucking funny character. James Caan is also as Italian as a fucking bagel. Like he's not Italian, but it doesn't matter. He's great in the movie. But it's just so fucking good. Don't rush, but just like one day, treat yourself. Just
Yeah,
relax.
I mean, I was watching with someone who's like, "This is my favorite movie ever," and I was like,
Well, that you can't set up a
Did
movie
they
like
say
that.
it like?
It's
no,
my
they
favorite
didn't.
movie.
No,
This-
she didn't.
It was Robert De Niro's like, this is my favorite movie.
No, she didn't say it like that. No, it was just the way it just. I was sleepy. I didn't want to.
Yeah, right. I mean, that movie opens with like a 1 minute monologue, like that is in one unbroken take. If you're sleepy, that's not going to resonate with you particularly
Or
strongly.
it's gonna
For
resonate
me,
with you
a
really
long
well.
take-
If you know what I mean.
But like for me, a long take, no cuts is like one of my favorite things ever. Like I love an extended shot. Like that shit, so good. If you can like choreograph a nice long shot, that's good. And I think the beginning of the movie did capture my attention, but I think it was just like as it was going on, I was like, this is a lot of like the movie takes a lot of focus. It takes mental. It takes a lot of mental.
There's a lot of names and like characters have like, okay, Barzini is also the Turk, so it does take
there's
some
that,
like
but then there's also like
learning.
complex relationships between the family, and there's politics, and there's social cues, and there's relationships and hierarchies and all these things for you to take into account, which is great stuff. Like fundamentally good stuff to pay attention to. Like, I mean, like acting exercises alone could break it down into 1,000,010 pieces. But like, yeah, it just. I do need to get back to it, but it just I struggled, y'all.
I understand. Listen, it's not. It's sometimes you're just not in the mood. It doesn't matter how good the movie
sometimes
is.
you're
just like you're just not there. And like people go after like professional critics a lot, but it's like, okay, they watched this movie at like 10 a.m. one morning, for their job. They probably had to watch 3 movies back to back. Like, sometimes you're in a bad mood and you don't enjoy a movie, and then you revisit it later and you're like, oh, this is a great movie. I was wrong. Or you were in a really good mood and you're like, this is a great movie. And then you revisit it later and you're like, this is not the same as I remember it being.
Right.
And we're complex creatures. That's okay. Film is subjective.
One of the biggest things, and this is a little bit of a weird aside, because we never talk about games on this podcast. One of the biggest realizations I've had this year, speaking specifically to Kev's point about like, sometimes you're in a bad mood when you fucking review something. One of my biggest epiphanies, you could say, this year has been the realization that because I write about games, I nitpick things about games that people who don't play as many games as me aren't going to care about. So
yeah,
like,
if you go into something, it's one of the reasons that I've like, so I started reading One Piece, right? And there's like 1,000 issues. And I'm like, I could do a podcast about this, but that would affect my reading. Why don't I just read it? Why don't I just your brain is going to interpret it differently if you know you have to have something to say about it afterwards. Really affect your mental relationship. And I think it's something that happens a lot in the streaming universe, right? Is that like I am the person on this show that like watched Community as it aired all the way through. So I have like very specific memories about particular episodes, particular conversations I had after those episodes came out, the feeling I was at, where I was at in my life. Whereas people that, and I'm not disparaging this way of watching it, but people that watched Community for the first time in a month during quarantine are going to have a very different emotional relationship to it than I will. So much of what makes things our favorite media is like our relationship to them. And like I am going to have I have like memories watching Lost that are just like burned into my head. I remember like the exact specifics of it. And like you're going to have a different emotional relationship with something depending on how long it's been with you, where it found you in your life, and that's all part of like consuming media.
I beefed about the Ghost of Tsushima this summer because like that game is good, but that game is just Assassin's Creed 2 made in 2020. And I mean that in the most endearing way possible. But like the whole game, I was like, oh, there's kind of viewpoints. Oh, there's banners to collect. Oh, it's open world. Oh, the combat is X to attack, Y to heavy attack, B to counter. Oh, this is just a fucking early 2000s open world RPG. It just fucking looks great. And like I took umbrage with that initially, being like, how weird that the last big exclusive to come out on PS4 is going to be a game that's basically just the culmination of all open world games that have been on PS4. But like, to further my point, I realized about halfway in, after the story just continued to be great, like I've played every major RPG that's been on PS4. Most people don't do that. And so like to be able to sit at this position and be like, having done all of the research, this is very similar to this, and this. A layman's going to be like, yeah, but I didn't play any of those games. So like, shut up. Is it good? And like, it's an interesting thing to come to grips with as a critic, that like, oh, I do this more than anybody else. So when I'm tired of something, maybe I should leave that out of my subjective review, because like that's further subjectivity that further skews my viewpoint. Does the game work is more important than like, has it been done before? Which is funny when you.
Well, I think there's also something to be said about analyzing the novel nature of something, right? Like, if I don't know, like for me, right, someone that's not a gamer, right? I don't really play video games. I'm working on it. I'm trying, but the idea, like you're saying, you're describing these games as similar, right? Now, as someone that's never played these games, fundamentally, without knowing these things, right, without knowing either of these games, maybe I would enjoy both of them equally. But fundamentally, as someone that is into the idea of kind of like the longevity and like the history of an art form, right, I want to know how it was done the first time. Like, I want to know who started this trend. I want to see the original. You know,
sure.
So
Yeah,
it's
sure.
so
And more
part of that
important
is
than that-
valid. You know.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like that's a big part of what I try to strive for now when looking at something is like, who did this first and why is this better than that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's an excellent way to look at things. But more than that, at least in your case, Jace, Kev and I are going to suggest to you games that are all on my list of they're all the same. Because you're ostensibly not a gamer. And so playing 2 or 3 things by 2 or 3 different companies released at 2 or 3 different times, maybe even decades, like that all feel the same is a tremendous way to onboard. So
Right.
like my
That's
being upset
fair.
that they're the same is stupid when like I can look at you and go, you should play Uncharted, Spider-Man, and Assassin's Creed 2. 2008, 2012, and 2018. They're all the fucking same. But they're all really fucking good.
They're
And
the
like
same.
yeah, they're all open world games that have ostensibly the same combat systems and ostensibly the same style of storytelling, and they're all single player.
Huh.
They're similar, and then they also have things that make them really different. You know,
Yeah.
they also have each of those games is like Nathan Drake does not swing from webs, for
Right.
instance.
But he swings from ropes.
but-
He swings from ropes.
I mean, like, for me,
He does-
because the only game that I've actually even like done a little bit of was I had a roommate in college that had a system, and he let me play Arkham Asylum. I
Oh,
didn't
cool.
get super far in it, but it was like the only time I've ever like
Oh, Jace.
played it. What?
Arkham Asylum is the reason why open world combat has been the way it has been for a decade.
Yeah, that
If
was
you wanna
like
know who did it
that
first.
game popularized a different way of fighting, and then everyone used that way of fighting for like 10 years.
If you play Arkham Asylum and then you play Spider-Man, combat will be really easy for you in the second one.
The same.
Because it's exactly the fucking same. And to like further your point, you want to know where it came from. Arkham Asylum is the progenitor of that kind of game.
That's so wild. I didn't finish it. I do want to get Arkham Asylum just because like
You can probably get that for cheap on the old
You can buy
PlayStation Store.
You can buy the trilogy for like $20 right now. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Those games are incredible. Yeah. I was gonna say something.
So
I had something really cool to say, and it's fun fact. Let me get back to Community. Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum, which is this tremendous, like, not open world but open world game where you play Batman. It has a really tremendous combat system that was turned into the template going forward. Was almost a rhythm based game. And when the combat was going to start, the combat was going to flip to 2D, and you were going to have to do things on beat and hit buttons
like
on
Dance
beat.
Dance Revolution.
And they scrapped that and went with a system that revolutionized combat, which is
Ain't that just the way sometimes?
fucking
Ain't that-
incredible.
That's I think people underestimate how much often things that are impactful or game changing are also accidents. are also
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This
Like champagne.
this happened because I mean, for instance, everyone is familiar with the movie I'm back to talk about, but Star Wars, the end of the original Star Wars was supposed to take place in 2 different places at the same time, on a planet and on a moon space station, and they just didn't have the fucking money to do both. So they made them one place, and it's called the Death Star, and it's pretty iconic, I would say. And that was an accident. That was like, oh, we didn't have the money to do what we wanted to do, so we made the most iconic space station in history.
Also, George
And,
Lucas didn't think that movie was going to be successful. He bet against his own movie with Spielberg about 2001: A Space Odyssey because he thought 2001 was going to do better.
That actually makes a lot of sense when you look at George Lucas's like other movies, and you're like, oh, he's definitely more of a Space Odyssey guy than a Star Wars guy. As weird as that sounds to say.
Yeah.
But THX 1131 makes a lot more sense as a prequel to 2001 than it would to Star Wars.
Yeah.
But the second episode of Community we're going to talk about, season
Jen,
3, episode...
Folks, before we get into this episode, I'm going to duck out. I got to go make sure I'm a good dad. But before I duck out, be good to everybody and be good to yourselves, because 2021 is starting, and a lot of people think that 2021 means it's 2020 is over, and it doesn't. It just means it's 2020 episode 2. And,
plus 1, yeah.
yeah, and before 2020 redux. So before you like let down all your guards and be like, here we go. New Year's Eve, I'm going to have a good year. Just fucking batten the hatches down and be good to each other. And I'll be back next week, but I gotta dip out now. I apologize, but
No.
yeah.
Wow.
I love y'all.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm sorry that
Bye-bye,
I can't
Daddy.
fully wrap season 3 with y'all, but I'm excited to talk about Witcher next week. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah, we're
Witcher.
gonna do some Witcher stuff. I'm excited to just finally just like do one episode at a time and just chill. I've seen the first 2 episodes now, and I'm gonna start back square one, watch those 2 episodes again, and then you're gonna be getting my first just off the cuff analysis of these high fantasy realms.
I love it.
I can't wait to take over your duties of singing the end song so that I can obsessively sing.
Oh,
Toss a
yeah.
coin to your Witcher, oh valley of plenty. But
It's
anyway,
gonna be good.
I'm excited.
So the first 2 Witchers for next week.
Oh, the first 2? I thought we were doing 1.
No, we got
that would take 8 weeks. I would rather do it just for 4.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay, so I'm gonna be doing 2 hours of. Okay, I can do this.
Just chill.
It's 2 hours of Henry Cavill. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. I'll be
You'll
fine.
be okay.
All right, lovely.
So
Take
much.
it easy.
So much. Bye. Love you. Be good to your child.
Oh, how could I not be?
baby.
He's too
I
cute and
know.
squishy.
He's such a tiny little blob. Squishy
Yes,
face.
I'll send pictures to y'all.
Please do.
Yay, baby.
Yes, and I posted some on Twitter for anybody listening to this who didn't see my post that I had a better Christmas than everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yes. Okay.
That's right. Christmas baby. Okay, bye.
Yeah, Christmas baby. That kid's fucked.
Yeah, damn.
Like, I only get 1 cent of gifts every year.
Oh, he'll love it until he turns 10, and then he'll be like, I can't invite my friends over for my birthday. No, you
Oh,
can't.
I'm a little miracle.
Yes. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm a silly Christmas baby.
What?
Season 3, episode 22. Introduction to Finality. Directed by Tristram Shapiro. Written by Steve Basilone and Annie Mibane. To round out our trilogy of episodes, in what could have been the final episode of Community, Shirley and Pierce get into a legal battle over the ownership of Shirley Sandwiches, with Jeff representing Shirley against Alan, the returning skeezy lawyer played by Rob Corddry. At the same time, Troy must survive within the air conditioner repair school. And Britta attempts to psychoanalyze Abed, who may or may not be possessed by the darkest timeline version of himself. Just right off the bat, gonna get out of the way. I do think this is an okay finale for Community. Like, if they hadn't made any more, I think it's a pretty okay send-off.
They do a solid job of wrapping everything up, for sure.
For sure. My only note is Annie doesn't do anything in this episode. And if it were the final episode of Community, I would want Annie to have a larger role, which she does in the actual finale.
Yeah. Oh, Annie.
Yeah, Annie. What did you think I said?
I don't know why you said Annie and my brain thought Britta. I guess it's because I'm terrible. I don't know.
No, Britta has a nice part. That's a perfect conclusion
Annie.
to Britta.
Yeah, Annie doesn't.
She just is
Wait,
like,
where is Annie?
Jeff. She's at the lunch table and she goes, "Oh, Jeff, you need to back Shirley," and then she is just sitting in the background of the courtroom. It's not great.
She has a huge role in the actual finale.
Yeah, she's like an emotional centerpiece of that finale. It works really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
She is a significant part of every other season, possibly series finale. But I'm glad that in the actual series finale, she gets like a nice.
Yeah, I mean, I
juicy
think it fundamentally makes sense because, like, as much as I dislike it, because I think she totally deserves a big plot line for a finale, I think over the course of these 3 seasons, she doesn't have much of a super arc.
I agree with you. It's a problem that Annie will run into, and I think Alison Brie is great all the way to the end.
Oh, absolutely.
But it does feel like, of all the major characters, she is the one that runs out of plot line before the end. And as the seasons go on, it feels like they just don't know what to do with her. In a way that they kind of hit with Shirley as well. I'd say kind of. They do hit with Shirley.
No, they do hit that with Shirley.
They do hit with Shirley, and they also kind of hit with Abed.
Yeah, but I mean,
especially
fundamentally,
after
just
Troy
as a
is
character, they're able to be like, Abed needs to go to therapy, and then they make that
he
conclusive
has
moment.
a good overall story. Abed's story is like, I'm going to stop interpreting everything like it's a TV show and go off and learn how to like
They
live
even
in
give
the real
Pierce
world.
like a subtly redeeming moment where they're like, where he goes, he's like, "Hey, don't use gay in a derogatory way," and it's just like that's so.
It's a little half-assed.
It's uncharacteristic. I'm like, there's no way just because he had one celebration with a bunch of twinks that he was going to be like, I love gay people now.
Right, after he told like the joke that got him like booed out of the courtroom. Oh, what? So they're not good at basketball. Yeah, it doesn't all the way work. And you know, I understand that it's like you only have 21 minutes to try and write like a substantive part for every single character is
All
fucking
of them.
tough, and
Yeah,
so few episodes of this show can do it. And usually it's like, oh, we've trapped them all in the same room, so literally everyone has a ton of material.
No, right.
The only solution I can think of is you remove Alan and make Annie Pierce's representation, but I don't think that works. Like, it's such a great way for Jeff to overcome. Right. It's too complicated, whereas the Alan thing is so simple.
Yeah, it's simple.
And
it
Cordry's
gives Jeff
great.
a larger. Yeah. As far as the scale of things, look, this show has framed Jeff as the primary protagonist from the jump. Just fundamentally, as that's just the way TV worked back then, but also that's just how it was pitched.
He's the main character. Now, by the time we're here in season 3, he's less of a central figure than he's ever
It's more of a group buddy.
We can have episodes that are about Annie and Abed in the Dreamatorium, and we don't need Jeff to be a central. Like, we have gotten to that point, and I love that the show can get to that point. But you know, in the same way that, like, you know, Scrubs is an ensemble show, but the final episode of Scrubs is framed around JD because it has to be. He is the protagonist of the show.
Right. Yeah. So that's why it makes sense to me to bring him back in, because that is, I mean, fundamentally we understood like the inciting incident of this entire show is that Jeff got fired from his job, and this is the guy that got him fired. Like, we needed to bring that full circle moment of him being like, I let you off the hook before, I know it was you, I let you feel good about lying to me about who it actually was. They needed that full circle moment. Like, that's what makes a good season finale, is making the audience be like, wow, we really did end where we started, didn't we? You know,
we came on a journey. It's like it's the Dan Harmon story circle that we've all heard about, but like writ large for a whole season or 3 seasons. Is that like we've returned to where we began, but changed, and things are fundamentally different. And that really, I mean, that's what all the like good finales do, is recreate the beginning and show us how far we've actually come.
I think fundamentally, if you are going to take the idea of a story as a journey, that's the only way you can do it, you know?
Yeah. Is that like, you know, spoilers for Lost, the first moment on Lost is Jack... Oh! Okay, never mind. Then I won't say it.
No, you can say it. I'll just take off my headphones. Go ahead, say it.
Okay. Spoilers for Lost. It ended 10 years ago. Jack, the first thing that happens on the show is Jack wakes up in the jungle. The last thing that happens is Jack dies in the jungle.
I got the thumbs up. I'm safe.
Yeah, so you're back. Well, it's good to know that you're at least interested in watching Lost, like to the point where you don't want to be spoiled on it.
Yeah, I know it's on my list. I'm intimidated by it. I will not lie, but it's there.
It's a lot, but I am going to do a Lost podcast at some point. I won't force you to do that, but don't save it on that account. But it is going to happen one day, even if it's the last thing I ever do. But
I ever do.
Yeah, but I think everyone else has some kind of substantive endpoint in this episode besides Annie. Shirley's is a little iffy. Is that like, okay, is it... Well, I guess she did come to Greendale to sell her baked goods and whatnot on the internet. Yeah, you're right. So actually, I take that back.
This is like Shirley gets what she wants. Shirley has gotten her husband back. Were you talking about Shirley? Did I just totally do that again?
Yeah, we were doing it the same... Well, no, we were both talking about Shirley.
Yeah, it was Shirley. Okay, I thought I did like an Annie Britta thing like I did earlier. No, we were literally... No. Shirley literally, she got her husband back, she has a new baby boy, and she got her dream. She started a business, at the school. And then it's like, whoa, who's going to do it? And then she wins. It's her business. She gets to sign the dotted line.
Yeah. And actually, I take that back. That's great. I stand by that one. Pierce, you could say, doesn't have, like, I guess if the conclusion of his arc is recognizing that gay is a slur, then...
Well, not a
or
slur.
Or pejorative, or a, you know what I mean.
Yeah, not using it derogatively.
Yes. Then, okay, he also has a conclusion to that arc. And it really feels like, I've said this before, it feels like Pierce's arc ended at the end of Season 2 Paintball, when he's like, actually, I don't need you guys, goodbye. And
they absolutely
the show
gave up on him.
Then I'm like, I wonder what is the story about him coming back, because it definitely feels like, no, you should have called it there. Like, that is the perfect ending for that character.
No, I think you're right. That really is like kind of where his character's arc really does actually end.
And with the benefit of hindsight of, like, knowing, you know, okay, we have this season where Pierce, he has a couple, like, funny plot lines, but, like, he's barely in the show. No one likes him. He's just the butt of jokes constantly about, like, they really have just full tilt leaned into Pierce is impotent. and that is half of all Pierce-related lines at this point. You know, he's racist, he's sexist, he's homophobic, and, like... The last interesting thing he did in my head was in Advanced Gay. Yeah. And I guess the video game episode, but that's just a repetition
but that's not
of what
even
he did
him.
in
He's
Advanced
barely
Gay.
in that episode. Let's be like,
right,
if we really look at it, it's framed around him, but he's barely even in it. He doesn't do anything in it. It's more so about his half brother than it is about him. You know?
Yeah, it's a Gilbert episode.
It is. It's a Gilbert episode. Let's be honest here.
It's a Gilbert episode, which is interesting. And then, you know, also at this point, I think if this were the last we saw of Abed and Britta, I would find these to be pretty substantive. You know, I would find this to be a decent enough finish, at least for Britta.
It does make sense. Hear me out, folks. It does make sense that they watched the wrapping up of this season after coming out of the Greendale commercial episode with Dean, and then like all the small other little things and their relationship. It does make sense that you would come out of this and be like, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to add some new spice, some new flavor to this show for season 4? And went, Troy and Britta should date. I see it. It makes sense. I think it was underutilized because fundamentally, what is that relationship? There's like there's not really a dynamic to play with. Those characters haven't interacted ever, so they based a romantic relationship off of a platonic relationship that didn't really exist in the show. We don't see Troy interact with Britta that much outside of relation simply from being in the same study group. So it's a hard dynamic to pull off.
And there's a couple different ways you could have taken that relationship, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a lot coming up, but like, okay, is it...
Oh, we will.
she is too prickly and he is too soft, and that is sort of the dynamic here, which is like kind of a classic dynamic. Is
sure.
that, like, she... And you could have played it that way. You could have played it as like, yes, she's older, but he's like the more emotionally mature one, oddly enough,
right,
and she can learn a lot. You know, there's different ways you could have played it, and ultimately my problem with that relationship is they don't do anything. Like they don't make
they really
a choice.
Don't. It's fundamentally just like a relationship for the sake of a relationship. This is a very me take. It is almost exclusively compulsive heterosexuality. Like that's its only role is to be like
heterosexual by default. Well,
yeah,
they're two attractive people who would be attracted to each other.
They hugged at the finale, so they're dating, and it's like, okay, but what is that relationship? You know, even if we could consider Jeff's awkward relationships with both Britta and Annie as being compulsively heterosexual.
Compulsively
heterosexual. But fundamentally, there's still a character dynamic there that they play with. And it's not just based off one of them. It's based off of both participating parties.
Yeah, we've said a lot about how much we are not into Jeff and Annie as a couple. However, they do have a defined dynamic.
Look, it makes
a
good TV because we understand how these two characters interact with each other in the realm of what may or may not be a romantic relationship. But when it comes to Britta and Troy, wow, we're just getting so ahead of ourselves. But when it comes to Britta and Troy,
that's okay.
Like, as a relationship, we don't get. The only thing we get from them as a relationship is literally a running gag that sometimes they hug and it lasts a long time. That's the only thing. And they went, hey, let's make it a relationship.
Yeah. And I love these two actors. You know, at the time, they would have been my two favorite characters on the show.
Oh, for sure. But I don't think that it adds anything to their character dynamic. And I don't... Like, literally, the plot lines that they made about Troy and Britta dating weren't about Troy and Britta. They were about Abed's response to the relationship. They were about the other characters responding to... It was never about them. It was more so, how does this relationship affect the group? And in that, it was less appealing as an observer. Yeah. But
they date for 10 episodes, and I don't feel like I learned anything new about either of them.
No, we learned more about Abed.
10 episode. Right.
We learned about the donut.
And if you look back on any of your favorite TV relationships, the relationship always told you more about these characters separately and who they are together. Yep. That doesn't happen with Troy and Britta. It just doesn't.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
To the point where I was writing an essay about fucking Britta, I was listing her exes, and I forgot Troy.
Did you really forget Troy in your essay?
I had to go back, and when I was editing it before I posted it, I was like, oh yeah.
Also
Troy.
That guy.
I remembered, like, Subway and Vaughn, and, like, I mined more out of, like, Luca than I did out of...
Luca.
Yeah, cool guy. But it is what it is. Another, and we're kind of using this episode to talk a lot about less than desirable things to come, but unfortunately that happens.
That is how it works. The gas leak is nigh.
This should have been the last that we ever paid more than a passing acknowledgement to the Darkest Timeline.
This should have been the last moment. This was a wrap-up on the Darkest... This was a loving homage. They went, Darkest Timeline, awesome. And then they had a bumper a couple episodes later of, of Abed, like, being by himself in it. And then they wrapped up that kind of goofy bumper by having Abed be in his own head and self-referential. This should have been the only reference to it. And instead...
They mine it for all of season 4, including the finale. And one of my big critiques about season 4 is that, a season of Community fundamentally reinvents itself. And there are things that are exclusive to each particular season of Community that never come up again. Mm-hmm. So, like, Vaughn, Slater, Professor Whitman, those are season 1 characters. They never appear again. They're exclusive to that season, and they feel endemic to that. Inspector Spacetime and The Darkest Timeline should have been season 3 exclusive. And maybe we, like, make passing references to it later, but they should not have continued to drive plot. And that is one of the big things that the next season is going to get wrong. Is that
invention episode is
maybe the worst.
It's upsetting to me because, like, there's a lot of fun potential in that idea of them getting caught up in their fandom and, Abed making a new friend through internet chat.
They also do... Oh, we'll talk about that episode.
Literally,
that episode violates
when Pierce interferes with it, makes me fucking furious. Like, it genuinely
I can't even remember it. I haven't watched it in 8 years. But the thing that drives me nuts about that episode is that it does the thing that the Troy and Abed relationship has always avoided, which is part of what makes us like them so much, is that they never do any dumb fucking plots where people come between Troy and Abed. When Troy and Abed are after the same girl, they do it together. The only exception being the Pillow and Blanket Fort War, but that was, like, an incredible emotional...
That was a, like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. And that should have been it.
Yes. Right. And instead, this episode is like, oh, what if Abed became really enamored with what, Matt Lucas? Is that guy's
Some
name?
fucking dude. Like, what the hell is this, huh?
It's no good. Sorry, we will save the season 4 critiques.
We're getting so ahead of ourselves.
Parts of season 4 that I like a lot. There are some really good parts to it, but there are also parts to it that are just so wrong at the core that you just can't overcome it. See also Changnisha. But we regress. We come back. But like the if this is the end of Britta, you know, her arc to becoming the therapist and getting outwitted by Darkest Timeline Abed feels like an okay conclusion to that character. It's at least like this back and forth, this like Hannibal Lecter the TV show relationship that she has with Evil Abed works. If we never saw that character again. And then they play the theme music in full, and it gets
different lyrics
every time.
With different lyrics.
It's like the full version. It's like if you go on Spotify and you find the like 2.5 minute version or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But that is what I like this episode. We ended up talking a lot around it, but
no, it's a good episode.
It's funny. It
feels nice. It's a nice wrap up. I don't think it's overly sentimental. I don't think it's overly funny. I don't think it's overly heartwarming. I think it just kind of is
enough of all of those things. That it's like, okay, I had some laughs, I had a little feels.
It's a nice button, but it doesn't feel like they like truly nailed the coffin. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like they hit the nail on the head.
We end on a winger speech, like, you know, okay, you've hit some of the good points here.
They did it, you know? It's like
and again, the season 6 finale is like pretty one of the best TV finales that I've seen. Just like, this is a conclusive, good episode of this show that also closes everything out. And I'm just, this could have been the ending. I'm just glad that it wasn't. Anyway, I've restated the same point 19 times in this conversation. Shall we move on to the ranking section?
Yes, I think we shall.
Yes, it is that time. Okay. End tags. First end tag, Dean Pelton at the rave.
This is a cute tag. I don't think it's altogether exceptionally really any... I don't know. It's a cute tag.
It's funny because Jim Rash is funny.
I like Jim Rash. I don't think it... I mean, for me, Troy and Abed tags are always going to be some of the best ones because it's just like, that's literally like fundamentally where they shine, I think, is where they get to show these bits. Jim Rash fits really nicely into that pocket of like goofy bit. I think it's a nice callback to a fun, strange moment in the episode. I think if they didn't have the Dean at that rave, it would feel a little bit out of place in the episode itself. Honestly, I think it does something positive for the way that we accept the episode as a whole. But all in all, this is going to be below my slut barometer.
I agree with you. So now we're into, all right, Dinner with LeVar Burton.
I mean, I actually think this might be less funny than Koppelgangers, honestly.
Okay, so where's Cruising? That's number 50.
Yeah, I saw Koppelgangers and I was like, that's a good fucking bumper.
Yeah, I now that you say it, now that you've vocalized it, you're
Why did he call me?
I like this one a little bit more. Y'all are very partial to that one for reasons I'll never understand.
I think that's a great... Okay, yeah. Which
it's just, it's not a... It's just a voicemail, and then he goes, "Why did he call me?"
That's funny.
It's fine. I never thought about it that way. That is funny.
Wow, when you say it like that.
I'm having a Will Ferrell moment here. Okay.
Hey, nice callback. I see what you did there.
Okay, Jeff Garlin trailer. When Pierce emerges from the trailer and runs into actor Jeff Garlin.
Jeff Garland?
It's in the documentary episode.
Kelvin and the Zeros. Do you mean Pierce exits the...
Yeah, Pierce exits the trailer and runs into Jeff Garland.
Oh, his name's Jeff Garland. It is. Oh. That's Kelvin and the Zeros? Why did you name it Kelvin and the Zeros?
Well, no, that's Jeff Garland.
Oh, that's Jeff Garlin.
You're looking at a completely
Oh.
different one.
Yeah, I thought I asked what Kelvin and the Zeros was. Did I not? Am I just losing my
No.
fucking mind?
I don't know. Well, Kelvin and the Zeros is just like, it's John Goodman saying like, yes, the plan is in place. Now to band practice. And he puts on a little hat and he blows into a little trumpet.
All right. I think I would put this one just below Kelvin and the Zeros and just above Betty White Explains Inception.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's keep it there. No, let's keep it there. It's fine.
I've already started typing.
You
Deep
ruined
Elton at the
everything.
rave. And the next one is Leonard reviews Let's Potato Chips.
This is cute. I mean, again, look.
Is it
I know
better or
you
worse than when he reviewed the frozen pizza?
Is this worse or better than Leonard's frozen pizza review?
This one has his roommate who is...
That
I
is
don't know.
a bonus
I mean,
for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think about
that is a bonus. I think that tips it up.
I think maybe we should put it just above Leonard's frozen pizza review and just below Troy and Abed Find a Baby.
Sure, new number 41.
Just like
Leonard's.
nicely, they have a nice little pocket in the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are the review. I mean, how can you qualitatively say like this one is way better than the other one? Like, there's no metric. We also didn't mention it at all when we were talking about this episode, but I do think the air conditioner repair stuff is funny. Like, that is a plot line that is dropped completely after this point. It is over. And all that finale stuff is very funny with the sun chamber and the Dennis, are you on coke? Anyway, just sometimes.
Dennis, are you on coke? Oh no, that is a great fucking bit. He's like, take that shit off.
Sometimes when we get super off the plot, and I'm like, oh, yeah, of course there are rules. There are indeed. He comes out like, I don't know if you've seen Mad Max Thunderdome, but he comes out like fucking Thunderdome. Anyway, good shit. Episode rankings. Okay, it's time to rank the heist.
Okay.
I don't have Caleb in here. Caleb would rank this one a little bit higher than you, I think.
I do like this episode a lot, actually. I think you are confusing my statement earlier of saying I don't find this episode that funny with me being that I don't like this episode. I love this episode.
Okay,
I just don't think it's one of the funnier episodes. But I don't think that funny is necessarily the main scale to be judging episodes of Community by.
That's true. Community has a lot. Whereas, like, okay, if we're talking about New Girl is just funny.
It's
if
just
not funny, it doesn't work.
If it's not funny,
then,
I'm not watching it. That is a just objectively fucking funny show.
That's a funny fucking show. Because that show's only mission is funny. Like, there aren't profound character arcs. There aren't, like...
What's profound about it is they take a bunch of really strange characters, throw them together, and just watch chaos happen. And it's always funny. I gotta get back into that. I started doing a rewatch a little while ago and thoroughly enjoyed myself.
I've been rewatching it since... however many months now, but the girlfriend and I have been watching it every Saturday and Sunday morning with breakfast, and we're cruising. We're almost through like season 5. This is further than I've ever gone in New Girl before.
Dude, it's a
very funny show.
It's a funny show. I also
Nick Miller is a very special character.
Dude. Oh man, on the nose with that one. He's so funny. He's so funny.
They're all good, but Nick is
special.
I mean, no,
they truly are all good, but Nick is just
Winston.
What is that actor's name? I always forget his name.
Which one?
Nick.
Oh, Jake Johnson. Spider-Man.
Dude, that's fucking Peter B. Parker right there. He plays an incredible everyman, and he's always funny. I have never seen him in anything where he did not deliver,
He's in 21 Jump Street for like one scene, but that one scene is very fucking funny.
Of course it is. He's brilliant.
I have one more gay black kid getting punched in the face away from expelling both of you. Sorry.
I've literally never seen that movie. That line scared me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it makes sense in context.
I'm sure
I understand out of context that's very off.
What? What?
They're very funny movies.
I'm gonna let you throw the dart, and I'm gonna be like,
okay. So I'm looking here. Number 25, documentary filmmaking Redux. The Dean makes a commercial. It's not as good as that, but we're in the right zone for me.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me thinks it's better. Part of me thinks it's worse. I really am actually. I'm torn on this episode.
I could go either way, and then I look at like, oh, the Halloween episode is right here.
Oh.
Subway 1984 is right underneath that, and I'm like, yeah. The Dreamatorium episode.
Lower.
Yeah, keep going. I think Studies at Modern Movement here, the Annie's Move. This is where we could have a conversation. Number 30.
Give me a second to think.
Because that episode is funny. Like, Jesus Loves Marijuana, Kiss from a Rose.
Oh, Kiss from a Rose. Yeah. Let's put it below that one. Just a little bit. Asian population studies. Yeah, why not?
Asian population is good. Okay, yeah, new number 31. S3E21. The First Chang Dynasty.
Oh my goodness.
And finally, the last of season 3.
The last melon.
The last melon. Introduction to Finality. So I think we're actually going to stay here in this zone. Yeah. So this is better than the season 1 finale that uses a horrible slur and has Jeff and Annie kiss. 2 things that I'm against morally. two things that my moral code will not allow. It's definitely not as good as the season 2 Paintball finale. So that doesn't help me at all.
True.
That doesn't help me one iota.
Let's talk at vampire mythology. This is Blade, right? This is the carnival.
Blade. I mean, if I'm weighing these 2 episodes, edge to Blade. Blade.
Yeah.
They're faking the carnival on the phone.
Yep.
All good.
I'm gonna agree with you with that.
English is cruising. The next season 3 Measuring Post Digital Estate Planning the video game episode.
Ooh.
Edge to the video game episode.
But this feels like it's close in its dynamic, where it's like
we're getting there.
Part of it's like I respect this episode, but it's also like advanced gay. I'm gonna give the edge to advanced gay.
I am as well. Advanced gay, underrated.
Thank you for putting the little bubble next to romantic expressionism, because I've asked so many times watching Kick
save
Puncher.
so much time.
Like,
all right, but okay, so we're down here. Number 47 is Geography of Global Conflict. Number 48 is the season 3 premiere. So this is a great point. Is this better or worse than the season 3 premiere?
Wow. Why did we do this to ourselves, Kevin?
I know. This was, if you go back and listen, I just invented this near the end of our first episode. I was like, what if we ranked differently?
Dude, this is so fucking difficult.
I'm such a bastard.
And we're halfway through the episodes. Oh god.
We're over more than half the episodes, but
that's
halfway
right.
through
Some of the later seasons are fewer. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they're all 13. So we're, this is gonna get actually more difficult.
Ooh, jeez. Okay.
The season 1 premiere has that John Goodman monologue. It has the musical number where they're gonna finally be fine.
Okay, I'm actually gonna give this the edge to the pilot. I distinctly feel like, do I like that episode? Yes, I remember as a listener and as an avid musical theater participant and observer and creator and performer and just involved in the musical theater world, I remember going, of the musical numbers in this show, this is the weakest one, easily, in my opinion. We've got the hot air balloon one, we've got the Christmas one, we've got several musical episodes. This one, we're gonna finally be fine. Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. It's a good way to open a season.
Sure, but I don't think
it's not.
But that alone is its merit. I think it's good for what it does, and I think fundamentally this as a finale is good for what it does. But I think I enjoy the finale a little bit more than the opener.
Than biology.
Just pico, just a tiny
pika
bit.
Pika pika. Pika pika.
Fight me. Do it. Please do. Please fight me.
Okay, because I'm looking one under that. Number 49, foosball and nocturnal vigilantism. I like foosball more, on the whole. Jeff and Shirley play foosball. Abed dresses up as Batman and they attack their landlord. I'm for any episode where you attack a landlord. New number 50. That feels right.
Yeah, that's
A
fine.
season finale at 50. S3E22 Introduction.
Yeah, no. Abed as Batman fighting a landlord. That's just. How is that 45? That should be higher.
The landlord punching alone. Anyone threatening Batman threatening a landlord. Now, Jace, I do have a question for you.
Uh-oh. Uh-huh.
Do you want me to try and do some quick down and dirty math and figure out the average ranking of every season at this point, or would you rather I do that off mic and just tell y'all later? Do you think that would be interesting enough for you to vamp while I do some addition?
Here's my thing. I think now that we've brought it up, let's
Gotta do it.
Why don't we take a poll with our listeners and see what their opinion is as seasons without doing the math, right? What ranking the first 3 seasons, which are the best seasons, and then when we come back, whether it's us starting on our Witcher watch through, or when we come back for season 4, whichever that may be, we come back and give a recap side by side with what our listeners would rank it outside of doing all the heavy math.
Okay, because I just want to be clear. I am going to do the math at some point. It's just whether or not I do it on mic now, or we just maybe bring that back when we start season 4.
Let's bring that back a little bit later. I know you're going to do that math, but I think that's a good picking up point for the back half of this show, series wise, season 1.
So that's something to keep them hooked while we talk about the Witcher.
Come back later. We'll tell you who's winning.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know what the standings are. I know what season is in what order. I just don't know the exact number that each of them would earn.
Yeah.
Because it's 2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
And it's just about, and that would be my personal ranking as well. I just think season 2 is unimpeachable.
Dude,
I think
fire.
Yeah, I just think it's incredible. And then 3, not everything hits, but the shit that hits so
solid.
Hard. Like, it is
solid.
our number
it's
1
got its
and
own
number
identity
2
now. It's
slot.
really firing on all engines. It knows what it's about. It knows what it's doing. They couldn't give a shit.
3 episodes into the top 10.
They said, let's just do whatever we want. Yeah.
Yeah. It has some episodes that rank a little bit lower, but it snuck 3 episodes into the top 10. And that is a competitive
That's impressive.
Top 10.
That is almost a third.
Right,
It's essentially a third of the top 10.
It might as well be because you can't third to 10.
Right.
And
There's no
2 dominates all of it, and season 1 now only has 2 in the top 10.
Wow. Okay.
Some shit's been edged out. Spoilers, nothing from season 4 is going to crack the top 10.
What do you mean?
And season 4, there's some episodes I like, but it is definitely going to lose.
We're gonna watch this. It's gonna be a little. Yeah, we're gonna.
Because when we get to Space Time Convention, the bottom. When we get to the whale episode, the bottom. When we get to the finale with the Darkest Timeline, the bottom.
I am
So
actually
it's gonna take
genuinely curious. This is my litmus test for season 4 is what is the highest ranking season 4 episode going to be? And just
my guess.
Mm-hmm.
You want to play some bets now? You want to place your bets?
I don't know if I have a good enough recollection of the entire season, but I want to hear what you're about to say.
Okay, my guess is going to be the Halloween episode, which I think is legitimately really good. Like, very funny. They're in Pierce's mansion. Britta's dressed as a big ham.
Actually,
that's a very
not
good
even
episode.
joking. Before I started watching Community, that was the first episode that I ever saw a clip from, and that's
not a bad one.
It's literally Abed being like, "I remember when this was a show about a community college," and me being like, "I need to watch this show."
Excuse me, hello. Yeah, exactly. And then my second round draft pick would be Herstory of Dance when Britta hosts the Sophie B. Hawkins dance.
Okay,
that would probably be
Where
my
do you
second
think the
round
Halloween
draft
episode's going to rank, though? That's the thing I'm curious about is what is the lowest number? What is the highest ranking that season 4 is going to achieve?
I mean, if I'm looking at this list...
Give me a range. I don't think that it would be smart for us to give it a predetermined number. What is your range?
No.
Maybe 20s, 30s?
There is a chance that Halloween episode will crack the 30s.
Okay.
There's a chance. I'm not giving it as a given, definitely 40s.
I think that's an optimistic
maybe
and
30s.
reasonable placement. I can side with that.
And I don't like to shit on season 4 like as it's because it's very popular to do, and I don't like to do it just like to
Just
do
because,
it,
right?
like riding through town and just hitting everything that I find. But it's inarguably the worst season and has the worst episodes, and it wasn't all their fault. They were kind of in a no-win situation.
No, look. They did a really good job with a really bizarre situation. Like, it is genuinely commendable what they pulled off with season 4.
I
Like,
agree.
genuinely looking at it, it's like, this is impressive. I remember, being perfectly honest, first time I watched the season, I didn't fully feel that far off in season 4. I didn't think it was, like, as amazing as some of the other seasons, but it didn't feel that far off. I think just fundamentally there were a few very large ideas that they attempted that didn't really work. But I think fundamentally season 4 honestly is really not that bad.
Truly, no. Like, it's
still a decent season. It's still a decent season. It's
exactly.
just we're all just like, this show's amazing, and we have high standards, and there's also, it's like the nostalgia effect. It's like, we fundamentally know that this isn't the same group behind the scenes, so it taints the perspective we're even looking at it with. So I think that's going to be a good goal for us, is to be able to go into season 4 and go, let's remove these preconceived notions and really genuinely, truly judge these episodes for what they are and how they represent these characters and these.
Because I don't want. I like picking on a bad movie or a bad show as much as the next guy. I do.
What are you talking about?
But that's not, I've done podcasts about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Like, I like hitting on a bad movie when it happens. But this is not going to be 7 weeks of just shitting on it and acting like we're being tortured. And that's not interesting.
No,
let's
I mean,
explore it. Let's explore what works. Let's explore what doesn't. And let's, like, actually piece this apart, because
there are genuine moments in season 4 that I love, and I'm actually looking forward to watching them again.
100%. I really want to know where we come down on the puppet episode, because that episode is so hotly contested.
Complicated.
Whereas, like, I don't know, on a season
puppets?
4 scale, yeah, exactly. You've given me puppets and songs. You give me Sarah Bareilles.
I like all of these things, but is the sum greater than the total of its parts?
And we'll stay tuned to find out. So, plug section, I'll keep it pretty light because we're running a little long. That's our standard way of doing things now. It's fine.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker of shockers, we're running pretty long. We used to, like, never come up close to 2 hours, and now 2 hours is becoming the median, which is a pretty standard affair for podcasts.
I'm
just get longer.
I think this Witcher break is going to help us out, although it might just make our conversations more tangential. Who knows?
Who knows? Who cares? But I'm going to just do a quick little shout out. The fucking Criterion channel, so the streaming service based around the Criterion collection, has just a lot of dope shit on there right now. They have a great collection of Korean cinema. I've been watching Bong Joon-ho films, and I have a couple others queued up, and they just fucking put on an exceptionally large and comprehensive collection of Afrofuturism documentaries and films and shorts. Jace, I'll give you my login if you want.
Yeah, I want that very badly, please.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I've borrowed so many logins in my time. It is my duty to share my HBO Max and Criterion. You pay it forward, exactly. Anyway, they have a great collection right now. It's like $100 for the whole year, if I remember correctly, which, like, that's not terrible. That's less than you're paying for Netflix, and that's like
$10 a month.
That's like buying 3 of their Blu-rays. So
right.
So it's not bad. So I just recommend that right now. Jace, anything from you?
I don't particularly have anything of note. I think this is a nice way to wrap things up for this first half of the seasons, if you will.
Yeah, we're halfway through the seasons, more than halfway through the episodes.
Bananas. It has been almost a year. It has been so wild to watch these friendships blossom, and like this show, this podcast kind of become what it has. It's been an absolute delight, totally thrilling. Excuse me. And
Nice.
thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. If you're trans, I love you. If you're cis, I love you too. But if you're trans, I love you. It's a wild time. Holidays and New Year's and all that wacky stuff. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you ever need anybody to talk to, I'm here for you. I'm on Twitter at JACENZIEV. Also on Instagram with the same thing. If you ever just want to talk, if you have any questions, you're just feeling lonely, hit a gay up. I'll be your friend. That's all I have to say. Hit a gay up. Yeah. Yeah, that's really all I have to say right now.
Love to see it. So as we've said, we will be back for the next 4 weeks, covering the first season of the Netflix Witcher series. So that's going to be very fun. And then after that, we're plowing right through the end of Community. Well, not the end. Season 4.
Here's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the end.
We'll begin that sojourn, that 7-episode stretch. But until then, pop pop.
Pop pop. Do ba do do. Do ba do do. Do ba do do. Do ba do do. Don't wanna do. Don't wanna down. I should have. You know what I should have done? I should have given it the. I should have done the a 1 and a 2 and a chang 4. Just completely different, totally different tempo. That's what I should have done.
I don't know if he's playing Axel F, but that is what it sounds like.
No, that's totally what he's playing. And I love he hits the wrong note. It's like, but I hear it.
This has been a Talkback Podcast.
That was quite a show. Very entertaining.
Please tell your friends about this show.
Boopy doopy doop boop sex.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.